Test, test, test. All right, great. Good evening, Jace, my friend. How is life? Give me 2 seconds. I'm just checking some stuff here. Ah, okay. I'm just checking. Did we actually get the notification here? In general, we did. Amazing. All right, cool. It's great. What do we have here? We have some stuff that we can get rid of. I'm okay. I have an eye infection, this eye here, so it's not gonna be a super long stream. That's why I also haven't worked on Friday. I'm also a bit I think I got a bit of cold, so but good, pretty good. Just yeah, I have an eye infection and it hurts a bit. So if it kind of gets worse in the morning, I'll have to go and go see the doctor. Because yeah, let's see how it goes. Alrighty, so what we're gonna be actually doing today is we're gonna add some OAuth0, right? Thank you very much, Ace. Thank you very much. So what we're actually gonna do, we will yeah. So what we actually gonna be doing today, so let's actually grab a screenshot of this, right? So I'm gonna take this fella and I'm gonna open Figma or Draw.io. I mean, I haven't streamed honestly past day or two, so it's kind of yeah. I just wanted to stream. I felt like I'm also doing this YouTube thing now, right? Because I need to kind of find a mixture between one and the other, right? So so yeah. So I just decided to yeah, just give it a shot now, right? All right. So actually let's just use Paint for this because it's the simplest thing, right? So if I open this and we get to Paint. So what we actually want to do today is we want to actually maybe just add GitHub and maybe GitLab login and sign up again, which means that, yeah, so we're going to kind of move this fella. Actually, I don't know. We need to see, right? It's slightly gonna change this. So let me take my drawing pad here, right? Let's see if we can get to this state. We can, so great. So basically right now we have a form that looks like this. There's 3 tabs. There's a sign up. Actually, that's pretty huge. So there's sign up, you know, sign in. And there's forgot password, right? And that's like tabs. And then we have some inputs here, right? So we have an input, we have another input, right? And we have whatever, and then we have buttons, right? So essentially what we need to do today, we need to add social login as well, right? And I'm not going to be using, you know, as you know, we're not using OAuth0.com or any service. So we'll need to implement basically now. We're going to implement GitHub for today because it's going to be pretty short stream, I think, at least because of my eye. I have the infection. So we're going to implement GitHub, you know, OAuth0, actually, OAuth. And we're going to do this with 2 libraries, with Fastify JVT, right, which we're already using, and Fastify OAuth, right? Exactly, Jace. I just wanted to kind of add the roadmap and stuff. So absolutely, all of that is going to happen. We're going to build all of that in time. I have no doubts, right? So okay. So what we need to do today basically is let's kind of start, right? So it's going to be a lot of stuff in the API, but actually before we kind of start, right? Let's do the UI. So let's just add some buttons which are going to call our endpoints, and those endpoints are going to trigger the auth flow. And then they're gonna send you either to GitHub or whatever, and then la la la, right? So yeah, okay. So let's go to the landing thing, and then let's go somewhere. I don't actually remember where it was. Dev focus tabs. Let's go to tabs, and somewhere around here, I suppose, right before those tabs, right? Somewhere. Let's just say hello world. Leo, my friend, good day. So we're gonna be basically saying, you know, social login or whatever, right? I did work on the landing page of Stream. I just had to sit. This is a creative type of work, right? So I mean, I've done actually quite a few things off stream past few days, right? So it's just that I needed to kind of disconnect from the stream a bit as well, because the stream, you know, as good at it as much as I'm enjoying it, right? It's obviously not the most productive thing, right? So I've just spent the time off stream. Good, Leo. Good. I have an eye infection here, so my eyes, like, it hurts a bit. So that's why I want to kind of do at least this thing today in the stream, and then maybe we should round up later. So let's kind of try to do this, right? So, so yeah, so what I'm actually going to do, just so we don't procrastinate here, is I'm going to say here, GitHub. And let's kind of try to assemble something, right? Marv, my friend, good evening. Rion. New landing page, thank you very much for your nice comments. I know that it's not insane or anything like that. I built this, I set maybe for three hours off stream. It's something, right? So it's not perfect. I know that you can do this in a million ways, right? It's just before we didn't have anything. We just had a form, right? So basically now at least we have something, right? So at least you can get some idea, you know, okay, I'm there, what the hell is this, right? I hope that you guys are not just trying to be too kind or anything, but if you are honest, then I mean, what can I say? I'm super happy to hear that, right? I just spent a few hours, right? The thing is, you know, I obviously tried to find some pre-made template, whatever. I didn't find literally anything, like anything that you know. What I actually did, if you care to know, right? I just drew it before I made it. So I drew it in Draw.io, right? So if I go to diagrams, I think I have it here. I think I drew it in here. Yeah, basically. So essentially, so the way that I did it, basically, I just started here. I started playing a bit with this. And essentially, this is what we are doing today, right? So this is what we're gonna add now. But I just started here, right? Rion, thank you very much, man. Love you. Those, if you mean those things, they are from a very amazing service, and service is called Andro. So that's where I got all the illustrations, right? You can also use the search here. That's where I got all of the things. So you can search here for developer, right? For example, and you're going to get a lot of nice graphics. And what I'm using is Draw.io, right? So I'm using the Draw.io to draw, and you can see you know, I'm drawing all of the stuff here. And then this is just a different theme. So this theme is called Sketch. So when you download it, I have it downloaded in my computer. You can also use it in the browser. This sketchy type of feel, it's because the theme is called Sketch, right? So just FYI. All right, so getting that out of the way, let's kind of try to get some work done today, right? So we want to kind of add login with GitHub, maybe GitLab or whatever, right? But let's try with GitHub and LinkedIn, right? And we're gonna try to do at least one today, right? So we're gonna, I had this very long ago for this project. I did it using Passport.js, but we're not gonna be using Passport now. We're gonna be just using Fastify. We're just gonna be using Fastify now. Some of the Fastify libraries, basically. Okay, that's a bit strange. Let me see what's happening. All right, so we're just gonna add the icons now, so we can initiate those flows, and then most of the stream today is actually gonna be backend or our API, and not the actual front end, right? So okay, so flex gap 2. We can actually get rid of this fella here. We have Amex Auto here as well. I see. Okay, so we're gonna say gap actually 2, and let's say justify center. Yeah, let's actually increase this gap a bit. Let's increase it more. So let's imagine we're gonna have this here. It's not gonna be like this, obviously, but I just want to have something to click on, and then initiate the Auth0 flow, right? Oh, really? Okay, that's a very good. No, that's a very good statement. I don't remember. I don't have Facebook or anything, right? But this is kind of what I remember. I don't have Facebook or Twitter or whatever, but I remember that it was always on the right when it comes to Facebook, and I just went here, and it seems actually that it is. Yeah, Marv, that's good. So how do other websites do it, right? How do you sign up? How do you sign up somewhere else? What is it, like Twitter? No, you don't have to pay for anything. No. I don't think so, no. So how do you sign up here? Oh, okay. So, oh, all right. I see. So I don't actually know, right? Leo, I think your point might be valid. It doesn't seem so that it's. Yeah, I'm not actually sure, right? Like you might have a point there, right? I'm not quite sure. Let's ask a question later in our Discord channel, right? And then we can ask people. I have no opinion on this, right? But let's build a functionality. So in this stream, we want to focus now on functionality. Then I can play with the UI later, right? So if you guys can send some examples, I would highly appreciate that, because I have no opinion. Again, you guys probably have a point. So I want to make sure that we put it in the place where it should be, right? So I have no kind of opinion on that. So please, if you have a chance, please do that. All right. So let's kind of start. So for now, we're gonna ignore the LinkedIn, and we're gonna be only kind of doing this, right? So let's just do something here. So let's create some handler. Let's say handle GitHub login or whatever. So we're gonna switch now to the API and stuff. But here we're just gonna say, okay, so let's just create a handler, right? And then when you click on this icon, something's gonna happen, right? Just so we prepare this, right, for what's coming. And yeah, we kind of put this in a wrong component completely. So let's do this, right? And I think the best thing, Jace, you can do with this sort of stuff, please put it in Discord, right? So this thing is in the center, but this is a completely different example, right? Here we're talking about the landing page, right? So we need to kind of figure out on the landing page itself where it should be, right? Because this one seems to be centered, right? So I'm not actually sure. Okay, so let me not lead myself astray or whatever you say it. So let's focus. Yeah, let's focus on doing some work today, right? And then I'm all ears to learn. So let's go to our API, right? And let's start implementing this. So I think if we go to Fastify OAuth library, right? I think it's this one, yeah. We'll need to install this, and we'll need to kind of configure some credentials on GitHub side, right? So that's pretty good. So let's grab this stuff, right? And very nice, Marv. Very nice. Yeah, TypeScript is very nice indeed. TypeScript is very nice indeed. Am I actually using PM? Yeah, PNPMI Fastify OAuth. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So shit. Right, so let's run the service, and yeah, let's start implementing this fella, right? So we basically, let's just follow whatever they have here, right? So let's go to our API. I guess if we go to the auth, we have this, and I used to have GitHub and all of this implemented before, right? Actually, if I scroll down, or if we actually go back in history, I'm pretty sure that we're gonna find it. It's just, actually, I think it's irrelevant primarily because I use different things for it. I use Passport.js. And now I'm not going to use Passport, I'm just going to directly and relatively manually implement this, right? But I'm pretty sure that at one point, if we go back into history like this, right, we would find, yeah, here it is, right? So we had GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket, and all of that stuff. So, okay, all right, so let's start kind of building this. So first and foremost, before we start with the routers and stuff, let's go to setup plugins in my API, right? And I'm actually recording a course now, a YouTube course on Fastify, so I think it's going to be really good. So hopefully in a couple of weeks, it should be out there. HD logs, good evening, my friend. So let's kind of start getting this plugin in. So we're going to say import OAuth from Fastify. Did I actually install it? My bad. Okay. All right, that's good. Then I guess we need to register the actual plugin. Why is my shortcut not working? It is now. Okay. Then we're gonna do something like this, right, as we always do. So we're gonna enforce, this is actually the plugin that I made together with some of you guys here in the community. So multi-part helmet course Redis, and then let's kind of put it here. We're gonna say app.register. Yeah, that's kind of a bummer. So let's say let's import it again. So import auth from Fastify auth2, right? Let's actually just call it auth2 as well. We're not going to be using Twitter. I hate Twitter. Twitter is the platform that I truly despise, and I would never want to support anything coming from there, right? Even if this platform suffers from not doing it, right? So there's absolutely not a single feeling I share with people on Twitter and the Twitter itself, right? It's a toxic, horrifying community of freaks, and I despise it deeply from it. I would actually ban it. If I'm asked, I would just ban that crap. So many insane people out there, it's crazy. No, it's seriously, I've never seen freaks and trolls as I've seen there. So it's quite horrifying, actually. Like, it's I don't know. I guess people just become I'm not referring to Trump. I mean, this is not a political channel, right? But no, nothing to do that. No. I mean, that guy became president by, whatever, 100 million people voting for him. So you got to give him that. That's what democracy is. In democracy, no matter the outcome, democracy is democracy. You cannot have it your way, my way, his way. People voted for him, he won, and this has nothing to do with that, right? So I cannot neglect the wish of the people, because I would be explicitly against democracy, right? So you cannot pick and choose when you want democracy, right, and when you don't want democracy, right? You either want it or you don't want it, right? I mean, exactly. I mean, first comment by Marv, yes, he lost the second time, and yeah, I think that's also democracy, right? Sometimes you win and sometimes you lose, and I think that it's quite sad in general that the whole US continent, as amazing as it is, it had idiots like Biden or Trump or any of them as even as candidates. You cannot tell me that there's no better people in the whole US than those 80 years old fossils, right? But that's what it is. That's how the world operates. What can you do about it? You can try to get rich and try to hope for the best. The only thing you can do in your life is get yourself to the point of power. So either by getting rich and then buying the power, until then we can just sit here and complain because nobody asks us anything and nobody cares about what we think. So if you want to influence things in life, you have to get yourself to position like this Elon Musk is doing. The guy is so rich that he can be troll in every context, right? But he can do that because he brought himself to position of power. Everything else is just who gives a crap, right? Politics is, yeah. Twitter. No, Twitter, yeah. I don't know, but anyway, fuck it. Okay, request user GitHub's identity authorized. The endpoint takes the following input parameters: client ID, redirect URL. So I guess this is how we do it. Okay, so let's see. So where do I get shit? The thing is, right? At least the way that I live in my life every day, I do try to bring myself to position of power. And I do, we all of us, every decent human being, right, wants to affect, at the very least, very close people to them, right? So for at least I want to, for example, at the very least, I want to continue to provide good life to my family, right? So in a way, we are all affecting world, whatever world is for you. But I know that if I want to affect anything except my own life and the life of the closed ones, I need to be in power in some sense. Either you know, be rich or have some medium where I can talk to thousands of people every day and they can listen to me and I can maybe help them, whatever. But until you have some of that, you are basically nobody, right? That's how it is, unfortunately, right? At least that's how I think. I don't know, right? All right, so if we go to, let's go to my GitHub. Yeah, I'm completely influencing 38 people at this point, and I'm completely influencing your life. Your lives are already drastically better. Since me saying this now, I can already feel that your lives are so much better. Like it's insane, right? I guess applications OAuth. Oh yeah, authorized OAuth apps. No, where was it? Here it is. Jesus Christ, I actually been here so many times, and I think we even, Yeah, we even created one. Yeah, did we? All right, so let me kind of move this here. Let me move it to the off screen so you guys cannot see the actual secrets. That would be ridiculous, right? Then I'm going to generate a new secret. This fellow is now asking me to enter my password, which I will. Copy password. Give me 2 seconds because I can't actually let you see this crap. And then I'm also going to kind of go here. And I'm also going to move this fella over here. So you're going to be staring at nothing just for 2 seconds, right? And then, where is the other thing? Jesus Christ, man. Okay, wait. It's so hard with multi-stuff now. Where's my backend now? Okay, guys, give me just you're just gonna stare at my beautiful new haircut just for 2 seconds. You're just gonna stare at my beautiful haircut for 2 seconds. Actually, no, we are actually good, I think. Yes, my haircut is beautiful, and we all can easily agree with that. But that's programmer client secret. Okay, save that. And then get the client ID. Yes, 233555X. Nah, it's completely not that. I'm just messing with you. Definitely not that. GitHub client ID, GitHub secret. All right, so let me see. Did I actually do that? Let me just double check it. Client, yeah. 1234 password XXX. Definitely. All right, great. And yeah, I guess we could get here. So, shit. Give me 2 seconds more. One more second. I apologize. Process.env. Process.env.client ID. And then let's say here, process.env.github secret. Yeah. And then let's get back here. Cramiac, good evening, buddy. I'm not using Java. I'm not writing Java. I don't think I ever had. So no, unfortunately not. No. And this should be, I guess, GitHub auth 2. Register a fast for URL to start the redirect flow. And let's maybe go and give me 2 seconds. Let me close that. So let's get over here. So okay, let's assume that ChatGPT has an actual still valid kind of interfaces. And so let's actually see. So if I go to here and here, do we actually? Yeah, there is a scope. Yeah, so that's still valid. So we only care about user and email, I suppose, right? User email, basically. That's the only thing that we really need. Credentials, GitHub configuration, start redirect URL path, so log in GitHub. So let's get that as well. Yeah, start whatever. Yeah. And then the callback URL. This is basically our own URL, right? So this is what GitHub is gonna call. It's gonna call us back, right? And that's great. Okay. So we'll need to create that endpoint, right? So we'll need to create this stuff. And then what is this that this guy check the state value provided against your app state value. All right, I actually know if we need this, but let's put it back here. I wonder if we could omit the base URL here. I'm not actually sure. But let's try login GitHub callback, right? Honestly, man, like, honestly, Leo, I think you guys are pretty much awesome. I don't think that we need any more moderation, right? I think it's just to happen sometimes that it's, and I also didn't spend any time configuring the you know, the existing thing. All right, so, and then obviously this is wrong, right? So let's see, let's actually go to our Swagger, right? Let's open our Swagger spec. Why is that failing? Ah, okay, so give me 2 seconds. So actually this seems to be wrong, and that's okay. Oh, I see, okay. Well, that's what it is. Give me 2 seconds. Swagger is, I've been using Swagger for almost 15 years now, and it is absolutely amazing. Alex, my friend, thank you very much for being here before most. And good to have you back, man. All right, so what was I doing? Yeah, so let's get back here, right? And let's add a new endpoint here, right? So let's grab this fella over here. And yeah, let's say here that and slash, this should be slash GitHub. And what did we have here? We had, well, so technically this should be slash auth slash GitHub slash callback, right? Am I actually right to assume that this guy, this router, I think we have config route, setup routers, and we have auth router under auth, right? So if I go here, technically my assumption is good. It's going to be slash auth slash GitHub slash callback, right? So that's great. Okay, so yeah, cool. So callback, yeah. And yeah, so let's clean this up. So you obviously don't need to be authenticated, and there's really no response. So we're gonna actually, I don't know if we can do this with my own plugin that I built, and then yeah, let's just let's just say console log, cool, and let's return I don't know, hi world, right? And yeah, this guy is Facebook redirect here after the user login. Okay, so this is where we should be redirected back. Can we get rid of that for now? Okay, we can, right? Let's now open our Swagger. And then here's our auth GitHub callback, right? So let's kind of use that. Do you think that 4 spaces is better than 2? As I always say, right, it's absolutely irrelevant, right? The only thing that matters when you're working in a team is that you have some style guide with a team, and that the code that you all guys push to the repository always looks the same, right? Now, what you have locally, what you prefer, I don't think there's better or worse. It's just, those are the things that it's fine to have an opinion on, because it's... So no matter what, you want to make sure that your team has the right tooling set up on each one of the projects or microservices or whatever, and that's pretty much what you care about, right? Apart from that, you don't actually care about that, right? So use whatever suffices your needs, right? Yeah. All right. So now technically, is the start redirect path what we actually have to call for this to start actually? So should this be like auth GitHub, right? Is this kind of, or not? So what is the actual endpoint, right? Okay, let's see. Start redirect path. Yeah, exactly, right? And this is gonna fail because we actually don't have that, right? So, okay, so if we get back here, right, then just do something like this, and then we say GitHub, right? Let's actually reverse the order of those two controllers, and then we're gonna actually move things around, whatever. Right now, we don't actually care. So the error is missing response schema. And yeah, this should be auth GitHub, right? That's actually super strange. So let's see. So we definitely do have auth/GitHub, right? And that's okay. Now the only question is, yeah, the only question though is, I guess this is let's get actually here. No, let's get here. You can specify your own schema for the start redirect path endpoint. It allows you to create a well-documented document when swaggered together. Okay, so this is what we are. Note, schema option will override the tags option. So let's see. I see. So I assume that this this plugin would do this, right? So I guess we could get rid of this. And then here it says add tags for the schema. I don't actually know what the hell is this, but let's give it a shot. So if I do this and say GitHub, yeah, I don't get this actually. Give me a second. Do I have to create a separate route at let's see what this tells us. Okay, so we do have to create it. Okay, well, let's I keep going to the front end. So let's kind of get rid of this. Auth GitHub, we also kind of ChatGPT again. As I said, I don't know if you watched my video on YouTube, right? But if you haven't watched it, I truly advise you to do that. And it's this one. How do I open it? If you're not using if you're not using ChatGPT, you're gonna fail very soon. And I truly hope that you will not fail, basically. Okay. All right, so if we actually get here, so we do need this. And if we do this, I guess, right? So this is just doing the redirect, so I guess we need this. We don't need this. And what's failing actually is my own extension, right? It's my own extension. And by the way, Leo and a few of you, thank you very much for watching those videos. As my YouTube is pretty new, it's like 1 or 2 weeks old. You guys help a lot getting people interested there. Okay, so so let's kind of just try to do one thing. So login, let's get this sort of stuff over here. Let's remove the body. And then I don't know why my own extension that I wrote, why is it is missing response? Like, why is it auth GitHub is missing? Give me a second. Thank you very much, Ace, as well. Give me 2 seconds here. What kind of sorcery is this? It's pure magic. It's pure magic. Yeah, absolutely. Again, you know, I've been hearing for 20 years now in this industry how things are going to replace us, right? Uh, let's finish this feature, then I can tell you about it. But we are being replaced for 30 years now in IT, and it didn't happen yet. So let's see, right? Let's see if it's gonna. Okay, so my own extension, my own Fastify extension that I wrote actually is messing with me. So what I'm actually gonna do here, I'm just gonna exclude you know, /auth/github. Hopefully, and my extension is going to listen to me. Give me just 2 seconds. Is it complaining about this? Null Shifo, thank you very much for subscribing on YouTube. Appreciate it very much, man. I don't think so right now. I don't think so, Jace. What I often can use is flat icons. This is a great icon service, but no, right now not. Eventually, I'm gonna go to Fiverr and I'm gonna pay a designer. So once we kinda know. So if I go to production, right? And thank you everybody for your support. Seriously, thank you very much. So if we go to programmer.network, so once this kind of lives to something, once we figure out how we want to present this project, then I'm gonna go to Fiverr and I'm gonna find and pay it for a designer to just do those unique images, right? I need to kind of sleep over this for a few weeks and stuff like that. But once we know more, right, you know, then we're gonna do stuff. Duplicate route. Okay, let's. So now we're. Why are we failing so miserably here? It's actually quite crazy. Where was it? So, start redirect. Let me just try one thing here. Dude, like, where is this declared? Why is it saying that it's declared? Like, seriously, man, are you messing with me? Oh, no, it's not this one. No. No, so it has nothing to do with this one. Okay, good, because I thought so, right? Okay. So give me 2 seconds. Let's figure out where is this actually happening. So it's basically complaining somewhere about that we have GitHub declared already, and I don't think we do. So let's see. So we're excluding that. We have it under API users here. Yeah, actually, it's really, really strange. Yeah, so if we remove this, it kind of works, right? So let's call it auth. Maybe it's some library under, yeah, it's probably a plugin. So actually this is most likely coming from some plugin that's using that stuff already. So let's call it GitHub auth instead. And then if we get over here, let's just call this auth, right? All right, cool. So technically now, right, if I go to my UI and we actually go to Swagger, right? Wait a minute. So if we get back here, so What the fuck is going on? So we're not, definitely not doing... Ah, shit. So, yeah, I see. No, all good, all good. I got it now. So essentially, we're not actually supposed to write this sort of stuff anymore, because it seems when you provide this URL here, what you're saying basically, so this plugin is going to register an endpoint. So this plugin, this OAuth 2 plugin is going to register now a new endpoint for us on this right here. So that's why it was complaining, because we don't actually need to do this manually. This plugin is going to actually define one endpoint for us, and then it's going to handle inside the redirect and stuff like that. Okay, that's good to know. And then it's going to call back this, right? And Arcadia, my friend, good evening. Pretty good. Just hacking away. And let's kind of use this in the front end, right? So if we get over here, right, let's import our request library, right? So I'm going to just do this. And that's going to be an actual object and not a class. So we're going to say, you know, a request. Let's just, let's not create a service or anything for now. Let's just, was it that? Yeah. And no, what did we actually name it here? It's auth, right? So we have to call this. We're not going to be using the promise API. We'll just be using async and await, right? So we just want to initiate this thing. So let's actually, we don't really need to await for this because we are not doing anything afterwards anyway. Let's try hitting our, this stuff from our front end now, right? So if we actually get over here and we hit this thing, let's see what happened. Okay, course error, fair enough. And we can see that we did in fact hit the GitHub, right? Mr. New Star, good evening, buddy. And I see what's happening. So we hit this guy. We got 302 back. Maybe we need some sort of a follow redirect or whatever, right? So Axios follow redirect. I think it's doing this by default. It should be, right? But let's see. I don't actually remember. What the fuck? Really? Do we really need to do this? I don't think so. Interesting. Bjorn, that's a very good point. 100%. It's just still, I think that's one problem for sure, right? 100%. But I think it's not the core problem. I think the core problem is right now is that we got the 302 here, then we got a course error, right? So, so let's kind of get back here. So this is the callback URL, which would be calling auth GitHub callback, right? Which is this thing, right? So it should be calling this, I suppose, right? Mister, thank you very much for the compliments, man. If you mean how long I've been coding for many years, but I wouldn't say that anything here is impressive. It's just a matter of repetition. I've done this same thing 7 billion times, and that's the only secret, right? So there's nothing intelligent, nothing impressive about it. It's like any other job. You repeat it long enough, and that's it, basically, right? So there's nothing impressive about, except just the years put into the work, right? Not trying to be overly like whatever you call it, fakely humble or anything like that, but it's true, really. There's really nothing impressive about it. It's just a bunch of repetition, and that's it. It's a very good question, Bjorn. Many sites out there, they don't do that, right? But I don't think that's the... Let's... let's paste it here and get some help, right? It really takes just the experience, right? And it's again, I don't get fascinated by myself and anyone else, because it's just a matter of doing it once, twice, 3 times, 10 times, million times until you just, right? Thank you very much for the follow. Aware of existing, appreciate it. Oh, so I think I got it. I think this thing here is requiring actually the full URL. So essentially it requires localhost 8080, right? 3000. So essentially here, right? It's requiring HTTP localhost 3008. Let's actually get back here to Swagger, right? So, oh yeah. So I think that was the issue, right? Mister, thank you very much for but I mean, the thing is, right, and genuinely saying this, like, if you want to write code, I think I recently recorded a YouTube video, actually. If you're interested to, yeah, let me just find it. I think I recorded a video recently. It's called what does it take to become a great software engineer? So, Mister, if you have a 20 minutes to spare, I would highly advise you. I think it's a very interesting video. So, and all of the things that make a software engineer great, most of them are not writing code, right? So believe it, I know it sounds silly, but if you want to be a great software engineer, most of the things that you need aren't strictly related to knowing how to write code, because writing code, really, you learn that by doing, right? So it's pretty much a lot of other things that make you great, right? Good evening, emoji, Brandon. All right, so let's click this fella again. So we're still getting a course error, which is whatever. But let's see if we're even actually hitting. Uh, 10 bits, thank you very much. Let's see if we are actually even hitting this. So what the hell is happening? Let's see. Localhost auth GitHub callback. Okay, so this is returning. I see when I click it, it is accessible, right? So let's go back here. Let's get to this fella over here. Yeah, I mean, we're doing that properly. We're also calling this fella, right? So all of that seems fine. Pretty much Leo. Pretty much Leo, right? So there's nothing amazing about software engineers, where it's just like any other job. You repeat the same crap every day of your life, and then yeah, that's what it is. That's truly what it is, right? Like any other job, literally. Give me 2 seconds here. Let's just see what the hell is happening. Am I even looking at the right thing? I'm not. Okay, great. So, and we do have the base URL, I suppose, here set, right? Yeah. Ah, shit. This is why. Yeah, I get it. The thing is, we have the wrong redirect URL, right? Because we're using the proxy most likely in the front end, right? So essentially we need to call this, right? And not 3008, right? So thank you very much, everybody, for your follows and all of that stuff. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Okay, so if I try this again. Is it still the mismatch? aware of existing. We're just implementing just GitHub authorization now, and it should be a quick one, but we're running into something. Let's say response code clients. So all of I think it's okay. I'm not quite sure. The only thing that I can actually think is that this thing doesn't work with localhost. Can I use localhost as my callback URI with GitHub, right? Like someone said, right? Like someone said, right? There are many services out there that won't allow you to use localhost, right? So let's see if that's the, yeah, somebody's saying that, yeah, you can use it with GitHub. Okay, so yeah, that's what we're doing now. Yeah, that's kind of what we're doing. Localhost 3000 auth GitHub callback, right? Unless I'm, yeah. Thank you everybody for your support. Appreciate it. Okay. So we are kind of doing that, right? So what is it that it dislikes, right? What is it what it is, or are we calling it wrong from? Let's actually get back here. Is it a get at all? Is it maybe post? Actually, let's so no, so when we do actually hit the auth, but what is it expecting? Is this guy expecting to post back to the callback URL, right? Is callback URI a post or a get? Maybe that's the issue, right? So it is a get, right? Okay, so we're using the right method. Maybe a random typo, maybe. Let's take a look. HTTP localhost 3000, right? I can see actually when if I click on this callback, right? ChatGPT is amazing, absolutely. So you can see, so the endpoint is definitely correct, right? So ChatGPT in general is absolutely amazing, and as I said in one of my recent videos on YouTube, if you're not using it, it's not good. So you must be using it, right? I don't think that I've added anything on GitHub, actually. I don't think that I've, that's a good point, right? Let me actually go here off screen, right? So that's a good point, right? So give me a second, that's a very good point, right? Sako, my dear friend, good evening. So let's see. Actually, shit, I don't think that I've uploaded. Yeah, it's a call. Yeah, it's wrong. Yeah. So it's a mismatch because this is what I have on GitHub, right? Auth GitHub callback. Let's see what we have in the API. And actually, it is correct that this should be 308, not 3000, but okay. But let me update it now on the GitHub side to 3000, and let me update the application. Okay, updated. Exactly. Geek developer, thank you, buddy. Thank you. It's hard to focus when answering 40 questions every microsecond. Okay, so let's try this again. Completely working now. It's completely working, right, as you can see. Exactly. So basically, the only thing that I can think of is like, give me 2 seconds. I'm just gonna do one thing. So I'm gonna actually make it 308 here, update the application, and then I'm gonna go to my API here as well, and we're gonna do this little thingy. And then what we actually have to do here, we're just gonna use Axios directly, right? So we're gonna say Axios, and then we're gonna say, you know, whatever, HTTP localhost 3008. Because why Axios directly is because what you just saw there a second ago is an instance of Axios. I wrote a little wrapper over Axios, right? So I wrote my little kind of I don't know where it is. Come on. So I have an instance here, right, that has base URL and a lot of other stuff and interceptors and stuff like that. So yeah, let me. Is music playing? It is. Okay, so let's try that again. And I did turn off the music. Absolutely beautiful. Great. Let's put something whatever. I don't freaking know, man. Yeah. Some barn music. All right, cool. So let's try that again. I don't know why is this actually being called. I didn't even click on it. The redirect URL must match the registered callback URL for this application, right? And it actually does, right? So that's a bit strange, right? I think it does match now. So there's something wrong, right? Maybe localhost 3008. Let me actually go back to this application. HTTP localhost. Let me literally grab this and just for my own sanity, the URL update application. Get back here, do this. And also there's something in our UI is like, why is this? Yeah. Yeah, so super strange. I'm not sure why are we wasting so much time with this. Must match a registered callback URL for this application, but it does, right? So what are we doing wrong? GitHub OAuth 2. Starting to look nice. Yeah. Okay, let's actually go back to the only person that can actually code here, and that's not me. Let's see if there's something wrong that I wrote here. So user email credentials, auth, GitHub configuration, right? Yeah. Your callback is different. I'm not sure. What do you mean? So this is the same thing I have on GitHub side, right? Unless... No, I'm not looking at API. Where? No, but it is localhost, right? HTTP localhost 3008, right? So I'm not, right? It is good. This is it, right? Ah, you mean here? No, I didn't see it anywhere API. Oh, but this is what... Yeah, but that's the thing, right? This is what... That's the problem, right? This is what... You're absolutely right, you're absolutely right, Geek developer, right? The problem is... This is unfortunately right now not what GitHub is calling, right? That's not the authorization callback URL I have on the GitHub side, right? So that seems to be the problem, right? That's not good, right? So you're absolutely right. This thing should be calling, you know... So actually, if we try doing something like this, right? So if I would actually... Give me a second. So if I do this, right, and I say HTTP localhost 3008, right? And then we call this fella. Then that should kind of end up working, right? So if we do this, you can see that it kind of did call it, right? And probably it gave us something, right? It gave us something that we need, right? So what I'm saying, right? Like... No, it only supports a single thing, right? It only supports a single... Actually, you can see if I move it here, right? Authorization callback URL. Your application read out for more information, right? So this is the only thing it supports, right? So I'm not actually sure why doesn't that work, right? And here it is, right? Super strange, right? Super strange. Mail art, that's actually very nice. I'm gonna actually try that. I'm gonna install that immediately, and then we can try it another stream. I don't think it's any of those, actually. Nah. All right, screw it. Okay, so let's see why, right? Let's see why our stuff, so why is GitHub not calling this, right? So why is GitHub not calling this, right? And why is it calling API? And where is it even getting that from, right? So, wait, what do I want to check? Yeah. You can go to the website and pretty much figure it out there, right? There you go. And you can sign up as well if you wish, if you can. Create another app. No, well, I mean, no, not really, because there's no chance that it should be calling this, right? No, I don't think so, no. I don't think... It doesn't, no, it's hard to assume that, right? I think probably it's the issue with... GitHub, for some reason, is not calling the callback URI provided in the app, but it's calling my production URL. Let's see, let's research, right? It's something silly, right? This is not the case. So we know that this is correct, right? So we know that this is correct. Why? How do we know? Well, because it's here, right? I think that's the only explanation, right? Give me 2 seconds, right? Let me just check. Let me check. Just the main reason I had to hide my screen is just to check one thing. So GitHub fallback. All right, never mind. All good. Could I like omit the base URL or something like this? Does this make sense? What if I just omit this, right? What if I do that and then we go I don't know, over here, and we try again. We kind of try getting this again. Yeah, it's still calling the production one, right? So like someone suggested, right, what I'm actually going to do now Yeah, but I don't think changing this to localhost is gonna work, right? This is just literally the homepage URL, right? Actually, it's not. It's a very good point, right? It's just I just created the new thing, right? I've just created the new tokens, right? Oh shit, man! No, fuck. I think red is actually correct. I didn't source my environmental variables after I changed them. Jesus Christ, man. Shit, man. I didn't source the file. That's why. So it was actually calling the old thing anyway. I'm not sure if that's the reasoning, but still. Well, it's still failing, but at least... Yeah, I didn't actually source it at all. Wait, did I source it now? Yeah, well, yeah. Then if we actually go here now, try restarting that. So now we're getting some course errors as well, right? And also, why are we... Wait a minute, so there's something definitely fishy here, right? There's no question about that. Okay, so it did work. Okay, so it did work now. It's just now I think we're not following the redirect, right? Yeah. I think now we just need to follow the redirect, right? Axios follow redirect. I think the only thing now we need to do is we need to follow Axios follow redirect. Apparently, we need to install this library. Let's actually see what it is. What the fuck? All right, that's 35 million downloads, fine by me. All right, so let's implement this. Let's go to our own abstraction of this thing that I wrote here. And yeah, let's say import follow redirects from follow redirects. I guess we need to create this adapter and max redirects. Yeah. The thing is, this is not really gonna do because we're calling 3008. Give me 1 second. I see. Okay. So what if we actually go here and we say something like this? I think that should still kind of work. Where were we here? Interesting. Okay. Nope. So actually, how do we use this crap? Maybe that's not what this guy told us to do. Follow redirects. It is. Well, so I don't see any Axios related stuff here at all. Axios follow redirects. Because okay, let's do one thing. Let's be clever here. So fetch follow. So fetch out of the box, the native browser fetch follows redirects by default, right? So let's kind of actually, so instead of doing this gibberish for now, let's just remove that. Black Swordsman, thank you very much. So we're gonna just say here axios.get instead. And I think here, I believe it does. Yeah, I think it does kind of automatically kind of by default has a default thing set to follow redirects, right? Or maybe not. Wait, let's see. Thank you everybody for your follows. Really appreciate it. Let's go back here. Yeah, the default behavior, exactly. Did I? Jesus Christ, man. What the hell happened there? Thanks. Okay, so if we get back here, right? Literally saying one thing, writing another. Just amazing. Okay, what the hell is happening now? Fetch. Oh, sorry. It doesn't have this interface, so we just say fetch, right? All right, let's try that again. Man, I didn't anticipate to be wasting time on this crap, man. Seriously. I was hoping. And why? Where is this shit called, man? Like, good evening, Tom. Good evening. So I don't like. Where is this thing called? Like, how is this even being called? Is this like? Give me 2 seconds. Or is this some API related stuff? Give me 2 seconds here. I don't think this is how this should be done, but let's try. Yeah, I don't actually know, man, what's happening. So freaking annoying. Like, so unnecessary. Like, so locally we actually, yeah, so I don't think it has anything to do with that, but yeah, we are in development right now. Let me just do a sanity check here, right? Yeah. kind of starting to get out of ideas, to be honest. I am kind of proxying the request now, right? The question is, should we then... and also, what the hell? How am I even thinking to call this? So we should be calling that, right? But I think let's see. Let's see. Let's see what we actually get back here. All right, so good. So well, it's not good, but give me a second. So let's change this guy to 3. Well, is it 308 already? It is, okay. And yeah, if we omit basically this should be calling whatever, like whatever we are at, right? Gloharski, good evening, buddy. So this should be kind of calling localhost 3000 auth. Let's see if it does, right? So if we do this, I click this fella. What did we call? So yeah, so we did call our API, and that's fine. And then our API wants to call this, right? Maybe it's something with the proxying. I don't actually know. Let's just all make it 3000, right? Ah, come on, man. Did I seriously close it? I think I did. So unnecessary, so unplanned to be wasting time with this crap, man. But that's what it is. That's how it is. Don't think this has make any sense, but it's a desperate attempt to fix it. No. Kirill, my friend, good evening. So yeah, so we're getting a course error, and what is the actual? Should we maybe actually start reading the errors? Ah, man, shit. Fuck, I'm so stupid. I'm so stupid. Okay, this is on me. We should be actually... Shouldn't the API be... So... Yeah. The thing is, I think the API itself should be... Give me a second. Yeah, exactly. But this is exactly what I wanted to say, right? The problem is I thought that this plugin is already doing this, because you see what happens here, right? What happens here is that I click that button and we say, hey API, hey programmer network API, I want to log in with GitHub, right? But then instead of our API handling the redirect and stuff, it sends back some stuff to us in the UI and then tells UI, hey, you know, take this URL, take this 302, right? So I'm not actually quite sure. Yeah, exactly. I mean, what the fuck? So why is it not doing this then? I would expect to be doing this, right? But it's not. So when I do this... No, but that's not happening. George, my friend, good evening. No Cholus, good evening as well, man. So what the hell, bro? Anyway, let's this is actually wrong now. Let's just it's just so annoying, man. I'm pretty good, man. Pretty good. I have an eye infection, so can be a bit better. I have an eye infection here, so it's been a bit annoying past few days. But good, man. Good. Just wasting a lot of time with this thing. This should start kind of our this should start the OAuth, right? No idea, Leo. No clue. No, I have it since Friday, so if it doesn't get better by morning, I have to go see a doctor tomorrow morning. I have no idea, man. So we start the redirect path. Is start redirect path what UI should call to start initializing GitHub flow? Trying to learn Python. Nice, man. Nice. I'm not sure. I mean, I don't fetch it. I just call the endpoint. We have to call the endpoint, right? So we have to call this, right? So the only thing that we should maybe do is we should say windows.location, like basically they suggested, right? So we should pretty much do this, right? And that's probably the problem, right? So we should probably say, hey, whatever, HTTP localhost 3008, right? Maybe, yeah. There we go, right? Jesus fucking Christ. Okay. And then we get the code back, right? Okay, all right. So, okay, good. Yeah. And yeah. Namari, my friend, good evening. So let's kind of do this now as well. So if we get rid of this thing, right? So this is the callback, right? Inside of this callback, we're gonna get some of this stuff. Actually, why are they using this? That's a bit awkward, but whatever. This .facebook auth, I guess this should be GitHub, right? Auth, right? So let's literally just try this again. Let's try this again. What are you coding? It's a social platform basically for developers. You can actually go and check it out there. Yeah, for sure, and I think you're absolutely right. Yeah, so this the context thing, right, is a bit weird, right? It's like why are we trying to which context are we trying to get here? Give me a second. Yeah. Okay. So what we can actually do, right, is we can just say, because this is a decorator, right? So that's fine. Try that again. And then we get the access token, right? All right, so let's get back here. All right, this all now works. How do I implement this with Fastify JVT? as I'm already providing a username, password, login with Fastify JVT. So first step is done. The next step basically is so we get this token back, right? And then we want to actually, I could have easily just not really written this in ChatGPT, but basically what we want to do, right? So right now, our platform supports, username and password, right? So what happens essentially is like when you provide a username and password that actually exists, right? So, on success, right? What we do, we sign the JSON Web Token with your user, and then we give you back the JSON Web Token, and then we store this inside of the cookies, right? So we pretty much want to do the same here. So now when a user successfully gets the access token, we'll also want to do something with that user, right? I store it in, you should not be storing really JSON Web Tokens in local storage, right? They're stored in cookies and in the HTTP only cookie. It will be good evenings. Okay, so that's good. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So of course now we need to kind of figure out. So there's kind of two paths, right? If we go to draw.io, right? Thank you everybody for your follow. So if we get over here, right? So this is what we have now, right? So we have this. We have the GitHub icon, right? You click it, right? And then we tell GitHub, hey GitHub, please show me this screen where I can click approve, right? Or sign in, whatever. So when user actually does this and user says, yeah, I give programmer network ability to get my email and return some access token. At this point in time, we need to get that email in our system and say, hey, does the user with this email exist, right? So email exists. If so, right, what we do is we're gonna basically just generate the JSON Web Token. So generate JSON Web Token, as we're already doing with existing flow, and then log in the user, right? Otherwise, if it doesn't exist, then we have to still log in the user, but we need to get him to this complete your profile flow, complete profile, right? Unfortunately, we'll need to update the UI a bit as well, because right now, if I go to the actual platform, if I go to Programmer Network, so now if you're signing up, you need to provide an email, a username, and password, right? With this new flow, when user signs in, a user is really only going to have an email provided, right? Because we haven't gotten the password or whatever. So our UI is going to have to change slightly a bit, where we have this, if I actually come here and say, if I go to localhost, right? So if I kind of sign up in development, right? Whatever, password. In development, I have disabled this email verification flow. So right now, when you sign up in development, I just get back the confirm URL thing, just a development type of thing. When I visit this thing, right, it's going to get me into this intermediate flow. Hi, developer. This is just the terms of service. Treat others the same way you want to be treated. I understand. I tell you we're still in alpha, la la la. And then here now you have to, fill in the rest. Now, as you can see now, since you're coming from GitHub and we only have your email and we know that you are who you are, we'll basically need to add the password at this stage as well, and also the username that the user has to choose, right? Or Or we could actually generate a password for the user and maybe not actually even require actually users. So actually, no, I'm actually wrong with some assumptions, right? So when a user signs in with GitHub or any other OAuth, right? Yeah, so I am actually wrong. We don't really need to do most of this. So user still has to complete the profile, but user doesn't really have to have a password, right? So no. Now we're talking about. So I was wrong, right? So actually, the only thing that we're gonna actually need here is the username as well, so user can actually finalize their login. And users who are logging into social login like GitHub, GitLab, LinkedIn, they of course don't need a password, right? Can I ask what's the best option for state management in React between Redux toolkit and I don't think there's the best OB. I think that's a very kind of general question. I don't think there's such thing as the best state management. You need to provide more context, right? All of those libraries are solving the same problem just in different ways. So there's really no better or worse or best or the worst one. But you would need to kind of give me more context so I can give you a bit more precise information, right? Okay. So if we go back to this guy, we're just going to kind of... Oh, sorry, HD Logs. Thank you very much, everybody, for the follows. Let me just respond to HD Logs. I was thinking about learning Dino, Bun, Swelter. Why do you want to learn those things, HD Logger? Why do you want to learn those things? Or any of those things? What is the reason? Why do you want to do it? And this is an actual, not a rhetorical. Well, it's a real question. It's like, why do you want to learn any of those things? Let's maybe spend just 1 minute answering some questions, and then we're gonna continue. So, why is it that you want to? You feel like they're modern. Okay, fair enough. I think HD Logo. I think if you want to learn something for fun or to learn new things, then picking anything new that you haven't done, there's no really much relevance there, right? I think if you want to learn a good API or good backend language, I would much rather learn Go than any of the things that you wrote there, right? But if you just want to learn something because you like learning new things, then it doesn't really matter what you want to learn from that list, right? You can learn anything, right? But if you want to, yeah, it's really hard to write. And just because something is modern, it doesn't really mean much, right? I would much rather tell you to build things with any technologies, right, than learn them, because there's no really relevance. You're going to learn some of those things, and if you're not using them, you're going to forget them. So I've learned 500 different languages in my career, and I know maybe one or two well, because that's what I use every day, right? So try to build things instead of learning things, right? Try to learn things because you want to build things, not because they're modern or new or something like that, right? Because nothing beats the experience of building things, right? Because as I always say in the stream, no customer actually cares 1% what you're using, right? No customer goes to Amazon.com and says, oh my God, this AWS JavaScript, whatever, it works so fast. When people go to Amazon, they buy things and they leave, right? So they don't actually care what you're using, right? OB, I'm using Redux. I'm using Redux Toolkit. That's because I've been using Redux for 10 years now. And that's the main reason, right? I'm not using it because it's better than some other alternative. I'm just using it, right, because I know it really well, and that's pretty much it. Okay, so let's get back here. Oh, actually, that's front end, yeah. So let's kind of do some of the stuff. So we're already kind of doing this, right? Yeah, so we're already kind of doing this sort of stuff. So let's... my pleasure, man. My pleasure, right? Technically, depending on the size of your app, OB, right? you don't really need any external libraries to manage state in React, right? Because you have context to avoid, prop drilling. You have use, that you have the hooks, you have the local state, you have the container patterns, so you can write. So it's really depending. That's why I said initially it's really hard to answer the question what's better, because what's better, if there is such a thing, right, purely depends on your application, right? So that's why it's often hard, right, to say that. So actually, yeah, so let's start finishing kind of this. So we're gonna do this pretty much. I think let's just see what this guy suggested us. I'm just a bit lazy, I must admit. But that's pretty much what we're gonna do, right? So they get the actual so they sign the access token, right? Okay, so they sign the access token. So essentially, yeah, so that would kind of be the difference, right? And so actually, yeah, so it doesn't really matter, right? So the only thing that we care about is that, so the only, so I don't know what zoo stand honestly is, and I don't honestly think that number of components really dictate much in your app. And good evening, Rusty. I don't think it actually matters if you have 10 or 700 or 7,000 components when it comes to state. I think state really mostly relates to actually how much data you need to write. It's Redux alternative, very simple. Okay, fair enough. I mean, it really boils down to write vaccinated with 5G. Good evening, buddy. Good evening. Wrap your head around what exactly? Server components are the same components. They're just rendered in the server, right? So that's really what it is. They're just as we did past 30 years, right? All right, guys, super good discussions. Just give me 2 seconds. Let me try to finalize this. So we have access token here. The biggest problem with this, so if I end up signing, so if I end up doing this, what they're basically suggesting, right? Shut up so he can code. Not really. I mean, it's okay. I really enjoy those things. It's just let's kind of try to get this done, right? Because the worst thing is I leave the stream and then it's not done. It kind of feels bad, right? All right, so essentially, so we can't do this, right? So what we actually have to do here, I'm honestly not using Next.js, and I'm also not using server-side rendering with this project, right? So I can't really tell much about it, right? I will probably server-side render a few views in this project, probably articles or anything really that could utilize a bit of SEO. But this programmer network, like if you go to just programmer network, this is just a client-side React utilizing the API, right? So this is not server-side rendered, right? This is just React in the client, and it's talking to my API. And as you can see, it's incredibly obviously fast and stuff. It's instant, right? So I hope if you're using server-side rendering, I hope that you are justifying why you need it, right? Because I can see that a lot of people today, especially new people, right, they use Next.js and some of those things without actually knowing why, right? Like if you don't really care much about SEO and stuff like that, then you should not be using server-side rendering ever. If you care deeply about SEO, then you should be using it. And that's, for me, because there's no benefits of monolithic app like that at all. Because my API now is completely decoupled from anything UI-wise, and my UI completely knows nothing about the API. And this is how we used to build apps for 30 years, right? So unless you're truly trying to render something on the server, I hope you're trying to do it because of the SEO, right? Apart from that, it's I guess it is. It should, right? I think it should, right? Depending how fast it is, right? depending how fast it is, right? Vanix, my friend, good man, how are you? But I don't need the, so basically, okay, so let me just focus on this for a bit, right? So here, can I get the user's email somehow from here, right? So can I get user's email from, and thank you everybody for your follows and support and also being very active tonight. I really enjoy it. Okay, this is what I need. So we need to get an email. We need to then check, is the user logged in or not? Yep. Okay, great, okay. So this is what we need. Generate user token, la la la, cool, access token. Vanix, when did you sign up? When did you sign up? Because I'm not actually sure if you're there. Because maybe a couple of weeks ago I have nuked kind of all of the old database because it was quite. So I'm not actually sure when you actually signed up. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. Do you remember your username or something? Your name under, like, let's just scroll here. This is the production. Do you remember your name here? Wow, actually, it's so nice to see that a lot of people are signing up. If I search for Vanix, there's nothing, right? So I'm not sure which name you used. Yeah, just try maybe signing up again, right? All right, so let me do this. So we need to pass this generate user token function to to this fella over here, to this thing that we registered, right? Do we actually have Axios here? We do in the API, okay. I'm using Fastify.js. Just type it there. I think you can actually take a look at the stack like this. All right, so get access token. So we're gonna get the token here, all great. We're gonna call whatever github.com user emails, whatever. I guess this is gonna be find a primary and verify the email. No, I don't think he's asking that. I think he's asking which backend technology I'm using. Otherwise, he wouldn't be asking about Next.js, I think. That's at least how I got it, right? Okay, so essentially, yeah, so this is kind of good. This is what I wanted, right? So generate user token function. When is called? Ah, I see. Okay. Okay, so I get it, right? So actually, instead of doing this here, so I'm not actually going to be doing this here. I would like to avoid that. Instead, I will pretty much do. Yeah, pretty much something like this. I think. So if we actually go to the auth right here, right? Let's smack. So this is gonna give us the token. So we'll maybe let me just do this. So we don't actually need this. So here we will actually get the token. Then we have the Axios. We call this thing. We get the user emails, find a primary and verified email address, generate a JSON web token. So this is obviously not gonna, so here we're gonna have to actually call my database. So we're gonna have to say like app.model. Do we actually use some model here? Let's see, model. Yeah, so let's import the, so we do have the model. So we'll basically need to do this, right? So we'll need to check. So at this point, we need to check, hey, does this user actually exist or not, right? And we'll not be doing any joins or whatever, right? We're just going to be saying, hey, does the user with this email exist, right? And if so, well, then we want to sign an actual, then we want to sign the token with this user, right? And we pretty much want to use my own custom written stuff. So instead of doing this, right, we want to kind of do this. And yeah. And of course, here we want to say, well, hey, you know, if there's no user, then we have to, well, user actually didn't sign up with this GitHub account yet, right? So no, that's not going to be the case. So let's just give it a second here. So let's say to do user not found with email, whatever. Let's say email, and let's kind of try this now, right? So if we get back here, let's, I don't think that I've built it from this point. We can actually log out. So let's try hitting this button. Invalid value, email, hi Alexander. So that's actually good, right? Now it starts. Thank you very much, Vanix. I love you, man. Thanks. So you can see this is actually good. So if there's no email, wait a minute. So how did we get to this point? Callback code state, yeah, invalid value, email, hi Alexander. So where is that? So we have probably some exceptions that have happened somewhere. And we need to find where. So email verified, invalid email. So somewhere here we have failed, right? So let's kind of so let's wrap this and try catch so that exception is actually caught here and not sent to the kind of to the root error handler, right? So let's say here catch error. And then let's print the error here. Console.error, error, right? Try catch error. Let's do something like that. And yeah, let's go back here and try that once again. So, oops, I zoomed into the absolute oblivion here. So click it. And yeah, so we should get here try catch invalid value email. Hi, Alexander. XYZ. Okay, so, and it's invalid to sequelize. So sequelize is telling me, hey, dude, you're trying to probably find a user where email is whatever it is, right? So where email is this. So user's email find. So the only thing that I can assume is that we're actually passing this. So what we are actually passing is most likely this, right? So I suppose user emails is an array of objects, right? So if I say, let's just say found and then found that email just as a test, right? I think that's most likely the issue, right? So if we get back here, invalid state, right? And it's invalid state because we've tried to use the same thing. Okay, give me 1 second. Let's kill this process. Let's rerun it again. And then if I click this fella again, right? Yeah, it's good actually, right? So that was fine, right? And I suppose, I guess, Well, not the actual output I expected, to be very honest, but let's see. I think maybe GitHub is now telling us to screw off, right? Because we're getting 503 now, I believe, from GitHub, right? So GitHub is probably saying, hey, dude, GitHub is probably telling us, hey, man, you tried to log in way too many times in a short period. So how about you chill out, right? That's probably what's happening, right? Okay, even ChatGPT is failing. Lovely. Is my internet still alive? I guess it is. What? Yeah, my internet is, I hope, still alive. Is it? Is my internet crashing? Don't troll me, guys. Am I breaking? Is my stream breaking? Leo, thank you very much for being here, man. No, it's working. Okay. Ah, the entire thing. Okay, I see. I see. See you tomorrow, Leo. Awesome. Good. Good. See you tomorrow, my friend. Thank you very much. All right. So yeah, something was happening. Okay. Okay. So we're good. I think internet literally died globally. Globally. So I think we are kind of good, right? So we're almost good. I don't actually realize how did I sign in, but I did. Oh, actually, so I did sign in. Yeah, I did sign in. Never mind. I was lucky because I used the same email to register with username and password as with GitHub. So I was actually signed in here. So that's good, right? I don't think that we actually do. We have to redirect. Well, we don't actually certainly have to return from there, but let's see. All right, so well, so yeah, we're now, yeah, so GitHub is playing with us a bit, and that's okay. That's okay. All right. So, and the good thing about this, what we're doing today in this stream, is that once we finalize this, then we can add LinkedIn and all of the other stuff. It's almost identical, right? So we're not really just solving one social authentication thing here. We're solving them all, right? So that's a good thing, right? So if there's no user, right? So if I go to my register, right? Let's see what I do here. So when a user registers, I do a bunch of stuff. I send some emails around. If if username exists, user create the user, associate user with default tag. So I send the email here. Yeah, that's good. So we'll need to do this there as well. I create the actual user. So we'll need to use this strategy now, right? So if I go to the user model, so yeah, there's quite few things that we have to do, right? Because we have the strategy field in this table. At least I thought that we had it, right? Yeah, that kind of sucks ass. All right, but anyway, we'll need the strategy here back. So let's kind of write this thing down, right? We need to write this stuff down. So yeah. let's just move this back here so we only have one thing in progress, right? So, okay. So there's a bunch of stuff, right, when we think about it, right? So let's kind of get them all down. So first, we need to put back strategy field to the user table. I don't know if we do have to do that, but let's see. So we know which way did the user log in or sign up. We need to modify the complete your profile in the UI. So if the user uses a social login to sign up, we ask them the username alongside other things like country, first name, last name, etc. We need to run. We need to create a sequelize migration. I keep misspelling sequelize. That's why I came here to do the previous point. What else did we just say that we need to do? All right, yeah. Wait, I opened some shit. Where's my stuff? Yeah. Let me just update this so it doesn't get lost. If the user logs in for the first time and the account user doesn't exist, we need to create one. Take a look at the /register endpoint and copy things from there. So actually, so there's this thing here, user emails, right? And instead of trying to find a, yeah, so this is actually fine. So find a primary and verify the email. Potentially, right? Potentially this might, so actually, I think what we should be doing here is filter only verified emails and try to see if the user for any given one of them exists instead, right? Because maybe you have signed up onto the platform and programmer network and you have used an email when you signed up that's no longer your primary email, but it's still verified, right? And it the emphasis is on being verified, right? Just for now, right? To do at this point, we have to create the user account, just like in /register, set some defaults, and then redirect the user to our application. So they can finalize the registration process, okay? And otherwise, everything beneath here is done, right? So this already works. So if we do find the user, we're gonna sign it as we are in the regular flow. So essentially, pretty much what's left to do is cover this thing here, and then obviously update the UI. So the UI now is also gonna, that kind of complete your profile flow is going to need an extra field, and that field is going to be a username, right? We could, of course, try to automate the username creation at this point for the user, like choosing the username from the user's email, but I don't think that people would be happy with that, right? Because some people care about, what's shown, here in the, like if I go to my profile, it says Alexander, right? So I don't think we should be kind of creating, yeah, you can see, like I'm talking about, the actual slugs or usernames or about those things, right? Okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just thinking now, should I continue the stream or should I maybe go off? I might decide to go off. How I've been streaming what for 2 hours. Yeah. Let's round it up. I have an eye infection. I don't know if you can actually see it. So I need to make sure that my eye is good. I need to go to work tomorrow, and I really need to get better. I need to pass over that. So let's round it up now. Let's see each other tomorrow in the evening again, as always. And yeah, a lot of new people today. Yeah, thank you very much, Roysley. Thank you very much. I'm wishing you, all of you, happy evening, happy day. Thank you very much for the follows, for everything, for your support. If you want to support this project, I don't actually necessarily care if you want to subscribe or not. I would please you to go and sign up on programmer.network and help us just be there, log in time to time, check what's happening and stuff. If you want to kind of know how you can support this project and me showing up, and of course make sure to go to the YouTube stuff that I started, and also make sure to follow that as well. And yeah, again, thank you very, very much for being here. And I'll catch you guys up tomorrow at 9 p.m. Copenhagen time. And let's continue and then finalize the social login stuff. And then we're going to continue with something else. Have a great one, guys. Enjoy yourselves. Do